Today's episode is brought to you by Modern Grower. Modern Grower is your source for time and labor-saving farm tools, such as the PaperPot Transplanter, Quick Click Seeder, and the Jang Direct Seeder. Turn laborsome tasks into free time with tools by Modern Grower.
These tools are like a big investment. None of it is particularly cheap, both in the quality, but then also in the price, which I know for a lot of new growers it can be a little bit of sticker shock. Whether you're looking at like a hybrid greenhouse tomato, you're like, man, this pack of 250 seeds is like $70. Like, oh my God. Or if it's, a JP1, or it's, a big long roll of row cover, whatever it may be, it can be a big bit of a sticker shock. And you're like, oh my God, I only have so much money to spend, or, do I need to be spending more money? And so being able to have sort of a refined list of like, here's our tried and true, this is what we know works, this is what we know farmers are using. It really makes both the decision-making side of it, but also the shopping experience, the investment side of it, extremely simplified. You're like, all right, this is the one option. This is what we're going to go with. Here's the 4 rollers that you need. We're not going to bother you trying to sell you a pack of 15 rollers that'll do everything, because more than likely everything that you're going to do as a market farmer is going to be with these 4. And so that's a great thing.
This brings something up. I'm going to say this with a lot of love to your half of the market farming community, the farmer side, and I'll speak on behalf of the supplier side, whether it's seeds, soils, tools, greenhouses, you name it. This is always this beautiful irony that I always see. Farmers expect to go to a farmer's market and sell their product for premium prices that are some multiple of prices at a grocery store. Don't go to Walmart. Those tomatoes are garbage. They're $1 a piece. Mine are $2.50 a piece. They taste so much better. So market gardeners expect the public to pay a premium. Yet market gardeners want to pay below market for the stuff that they buy. So they want to win on both sides. We want to get our costs as low as we can, yet we want to sell stuff for as much as we can. And all our side of the community is doing, we're not gouging to gouge. We're not flying around in helicopters over your farms laughing, or driving by in our Lambos laughing as you're out in the fields. We have to cover the same costs as farmers do. Labor, insurance, raw materials, inventory costs, marketing costs. How long does it take to sell through? There's R&D costs, all this other stuff. Shipping, that we have to price it at what we think is a fair price so we can make money on this sale and continue the ongoing vitality of our company into the future, which means we got to make a profit. Which, you want to make a profit? Well, you want to buy my tool and use my tool to make a profit too. So that's always the thing people like to bring up, like, oh, that much for that. One, people don't understand the cost of what it actually makes it costs to
absolutely.
make that.
Yeah,
Just
for
like
sure.
your customers have no idea why a salad mix is $12 a pound. Well, shouldn't it just show up? It grows by nature from the sun, right? You just drop the seed and like pick it. You didn't do anything. And it's like, we both know that's not the story on how to get good lettuce to the market. And tools don't just show up from Santa Claus either. There is no Will Ferrell, Buddy the Elf, that just makes this stuff for free for candy canes and candy corns and syrups. So like there's costs, right? But that is the irony I see a lot in the space. So that's just me venting and ranting a little bit on behalf of all the tool companies.
No, I appreciate that. We'll make sure that we snip that out. We'll blast it all over Instagram. We'll tag everybody in it. And I think another thing to mention as well is that, a large majority, maybe not a majority, but a large percentage of the tools that we're using as market farmers are imported. They're coming from Japan, they're coming from Korea, they're, Glazer hose are made in Switzerland, all of these sort of things, that it's like there's a whole nother aspect of it. These aren't tools that are, just thrown together in some factory in Ohio or whatever. And so, or you're having to import these from another country where they have like over years and years and years of small scale farming, they've been able to kind of have these really perfect refined designs. And then now we have the ability all these years later to and sort of just like jump in and take advantage of all their amazing design. And so I feel like, at least with me, sometimes I neglect to remember that. It's like, all right, this one's from Japan. These two are from Korea. That one's from Germany or whatever. And so, like we're sort of sourcing from all over the globe the best technology and the best design so that we can be as profitable as we want to be.
And people want it made I think people want it made in the US. But trust me, I've sourced stuff from everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
To make certain things in the US, I'm not sure US buyers will
Yeah.
their wallet backs up their desire to buy it made in the US. There's a lot of products that say they're made in the US, but they're often made with imported components, or there's some degree of like touching it a little bit, and now it's made in the US. The bottom line is steel and things like that are expensive here.
Mm-hmm.
Labor is expensive here. The minimum wage in California is $20, just under $20. To pay for that into the cost of a tool can be extremely expensive. And so this is the other part, and this isn't a farm thing. I mean, I'm guilty of it too. We want cheaper prices when we buy stuff on Amazon or whatever. And the trade-off cost to that is often less quality, outsourcing the labor, maybe, because I don't want to blanket this, maybe supporting unfair labor practices, but we want cheap. And a lot of times it's, hey, it might be like the cost of meat, right? I want chicken, but I'm not the one killing the chicken, so I don't really care about the chicken.
Yeah.
We look past those other things. So the why don't you make more in the US type thing is, I think, maybe what a lot of companies would say, hey, it's imported, it's expensive. And also some of these things like the paper chain pot, the machine to make that's a few $1 million. The Sumi Soaker, it's been made by Sumitomo, who's a multi-billion-dollar company. Like the machine to make that piping, I'm not starting that up with the money in my bank account. Right?
Yeah.
Like, let alone, I can't even buy a building big enough to put that line in.
Mm-hmm.
So you just have to, at some point, use the global collective knowledge and manufacturing capacity to better a space and let people like us or Johnny's sort out the logistics part of it and try and get it to you as cheaply as possible. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, what does it really matter if I get it from Japan or from Idaho? It's still supporting a U.S. business as the end user. The food's going to a U.S. consumer. I get it's not perfect, but do you just not import?
Mm-hmm.
These are just concerns, I've seen over the years.
Today's episode is brought to you by Modern Grower, a proud retailer of the Sumi Soaker system. The Sumi Soaker system is an irrigation game changer. It offers multiple advantages for market gardeners. Even gentle watering without dry spots common with wobblers. The system is lightweight and portable, so you can use it with quick rotation crops. It's low maintenance with no parts to break or clog. It's versatile. You can use it for direct seeding, transplants, and cover crops. And it's very cost effective compared to overhead options. And maybe one of its best and most unique features is it can put down water in a rectangular pattern, which is very different than rotating sprinklers that leave circular patterns, often with dry corners and overwatered centers. If you want to learn more about the Sumi Soaker system, use the link below or visit us at shop.moderngrower.co.